Michelle Sadler here one more time for a beautiful card kit of the month from the Stamps of Life. Here are 5 projects that I created today, and we're going to start with the first one. So first of all, I'm going to stamp the cute mini snowmans that we have this month. They're so adorable, they're so tiny, and that means that they're fast to color. So I'm gonna do a very fast coloring here. This is not just a coloring video, so it's gonna be it's very sped up. So for some reason I've been loving using the yellow boots and yellow hats this month, and so this is another way to match your markers with all the supplies that you have in your box. So that way my inspiration was the beautiful ribbon that we have for this month, and that's how I pick my try of colors. If you have the tri blends that the Stamps of Life offer now, you will have to fuzz like I did, but these are the markers that I have, and that's what I do. So other thing, this gorgeous, my favorite part of this kit is the sprinkles, the not sprinkles, the enamel dots that have sprinkles on them. I love them. So that's the other color that I'm going to use, kind of a tealish, that in our Stamps of Life line, it's called Peacock. I love it. It's one of my favorite. Peacock and Ocean are my favorites, and we're going to use a lot of those in this projects this month. Okay, so adding to the color, I was like very close to use yellow again, but I said, yeah, let's use a very light green. So I choose my brightest greens that I have in my collection, and that's what I'm using for the little snowman. Now, the orange, because you know, carrot noses, they have to be orange. And I'm just going to use 2 shades of orange too, because they're tiny, so you won't even notice. But anyways, now for coloring white, most likely you just have to give a hint of what you're coloring, or like a little shadow. So I'm using my lightest blue. Sorry, excuse me. The lightest blue, and just giving a little shadow, and your eye will automatically do fill the rest of the coloring. Okay, so I cut them, and now I need 3 of the bases. This is the card base, the new card base that came in a kit. If you don't have the kit, I'm sorry. That was the only way that you can have it. It comes with the Plants Are Friends class, and this is the Matchbox Pop, something like that. Okay, so we're gonna do it, sample it a little bit different. So I make a mark with my white pen, just for you to see them, and I'm going to cut around the line, so I can make a slit where I'm going to pass the paper through it. So like you see, I use my X-Acto knife. Please be very careful while using these supplies. I don't want any accidents. You don't have to do this. This is just extra that I did. You can just assemble it the way that it's meant to be, and it will be fine too. But this is just a little bit extra. Okay, so I'm cutting it, and I'm trying to pass the paper, and that's how we're going to assemble it, so it can slide in and out. Perfect. So it's just one extra cut, and you have a totally different card base. Okay, so we need 3 of them, and of course I'm using Peacock. Now I'm going to make a little mark on my base paper, because we're gonna stamp some snow heels from the add-on of this month. I love it, so that's what we're gonna use, and I'm going to stamp it with some ocean. I told you I love that color. So taking our lines like base, we're gonna kind of guide where we are going to stamp our snow mountain. And now we are going to stamp some snowflakes. So I will take these 3 like snowballs that came in the same set, and I'm going to use my ocean and stamp them randomly. Don't overstamp, just 3 will be enough because this is a little it's a little base, so don't overdo it. So another set that I love is this came last year, I think, but I love these little snowflakes and they're perfect to create backgrounds. So I'm stamping, I choose one of my favorites and I'm stamping it with ocean, and now I'm gonna take out sea glass, I think. Oh, nope, we're keeping it with ocean. Or is this sea glass? I think this one is sea glass. Yep, it was sea glass. Okay, now the die that came this month, it says Let It Snow. So I'm going to use some grape cardstock. I cut it and I'm just going to cut the inside. I'm not going to cut the shadow for this project. And I'm going to glue it. Now I forgot to use my adhesive sheets in the back. I don't know why I keep forgetting. It will be easier to do it, but I mean, you do what you do. So I'm placing the titles for my little cards. So where can you display this? Of course, this is meant to be display. I would love to put it on a tier tray. It will look so amazing, or on a shelf or wherever. It's not just a card, it's a decor piece, I would say, and I love it. Okay, we're finishing. Oh, because this is the way that I create that slit in our base, it can't be too thick, so don't use pop dots because otherwise it's not gonna pop in and out of the little piece that we cut in our base. So I'm going to cut 3-1 to decorate the box. We're just gonna decorate the front part. You can decorate both, but I just wanted to use all my little pieces of paper so nothing go to waste. So to match with our card project, we're gonna stamp some more little balls of snow and some more little snowflakes using the same colors, ocean and sea glass. Here you go, stamping. And like I said, don't overdo it, just a couple, that's enough. Now we're gonna start decorating the base of our little Matchbox pop-up. I think that's the name of all the links will be down below anyways. Okay, perfect. So I use double-sided tape because I think it's a little bit less messy. But you can use whatever adhesive you prefer. Okay, now we're gonna assemble. Make sure that, oh, I needed to cut a little bit more. It didn't fit. It happens. Okay, so we fold the little piece down. It's folded in. The first one is fold, so that's how you put it together. Now we fold the bottom part, and there we have our little matchbox. Look how pretty it is. So we put all the 3 together, and now we're gonna add a little bit of ribbon. So I cut 3 pieces of ribbon. I'm going to tie a little knot, then put some double-sided adhesive in the ends, and that's how I'm going to adhere it. I will tell you after I fuss a little with them, I had to add a little dot of hot glue in the part that we fold in so they don't come apart. So if you're gonna mail them or something, please add a little bit of hot glue because the double-sided adhesive is not going to hold it enough. At least that was my experience. But it's easier to place it that way. See, the part that I fold in, that's the part where you have to put the hot glue in. It's good for right now, but yeah, after a little bit, it can loosen. Yeah, just hot glue it. There we go. Finished project. Isn't that cute? I think it's lovely. And that's how it looks. I think it's gorgeous. Now let's prepare for the second project. We're going to make a card. And we're going to use some paper post-it notes because we're going to mask it. So I have my card base, 4.5 by 11, no, 4.5, 4.25 by 5.5, that's it. A regular I just blanked out. Well, a normal base. So I added my mask with my post-its, and I'm adding a little bit of, I'm using this is a Stamps of Life stencil, but you can use whatever stencil you have. I just like the grid because it kind of matches with this month's collection. The Stamps of Life stencils are limited edition, so if you didn't get it, well, you can't have it. But you can use wherever your favorite stencil, or just ignore it. But I just wanted to give it a little bit extra. And I take my my post-it out, and I'm going to attach my little, this is the Pin Dot Fancy label, I think. It's one of the new ones. It's really pretty. As I said, it will be linked below the video. So I glue that to my card base, and now I'm going to use some pop dots. And I really, really like this. This is the Stamps of Life foam paper. What I love about this is that you can cut it whatever size you want. You can cut it with your dies, and it will pop exactly the shape and nothing go to waste. I love that about. So this snowman, I guess I'd make a snow girl wearing a hat because I put lashes on her. So I'm just going to adhere it to our card. We're just layering paper here, and this card came out really fast, and I think it's so pretty. Okay, now the sentiment, I stamp it with the sentiment that came in this month's kit, and I fussy cut it. Sorry, there's no dies for that. You can cut just a little straight banner, or use another circle or whatever if you don't want to fussy cut it. And now I added 3 little of these beautiful dots, and there we go. I think we're done. Nope, because it's a girl, so I need a flower. So I went to my stash and I found a little purple flower that it will match with the collection. And I added a little purple flower on the hat and a little leafy. Yeah, those puffy stickers are so pretty, and are my leftovers from other kits, so you can mix and match. The colors match. It's the same color palette, so it will match. There we go. Easy peasy. Very fast to put together card. Love it. Now into the next project. Okay, so now I'm going to use this, I forgot the name of the card base, but it will be linked underneath. So those are the pieces that I cut from the card base, and I needed a little bit of light. Sorry about that. And we're gonna just layer our layering pieces. That's the best part about this, is that you already have the pieces to layer in your card bases, so you don't have to measure or think about it. I love that about the Stamps of Life. Everything comes together and everything layers You need all the pieces you need. They come in the pack. Other die that I use for this card, it's the little pocket banner. It's the smallest banner that we have. I love this little flags with fishtail ends. I love them. I use them all the time. So, and it's so great to use like your little scraps. You can cut them and have them ready for whatever card you need. It's a perfect complement. So, I'm going to put this banner here, and my snow girl is going to be stepping on top of that. So I like always to give them like they are not floating in the air. I like to anchor all my when I'm putting together scenes. So added some foam dots because why not? And now we're going to glue all the little cute guys. I love this. And this was so easy because they're already colored for you. Stephanie already did the job. So you just have to put together. I love it. So pretty. I'm going to use this 3 for this card. Just deciding how are we going to put it in. I love my wet glue. It's messy, but it gets the job done, and it's glue and it's not going to come off. Now I'm trying to arch a little bit the paper just to give it some dimension to it. That way it's not just a flat image. I'm trying to do it with my fingers. Now here I'm going to tie a little pretend bow for my little snow girl there. And I said snow girl because it had lashes. I draw the lashes with a very thin permanent marker. Now I'm adding the bow into the top hat. And we're going to put some sparklies in the middle. Oh, she's so cute. And this velvet ribbon is so pretty. Okay. Now we're going to add a little dot. But first, decorate the inside, because why not? There we go. And trying to figure out what are we going to step. Yep, we need a sentiment. So that will be the perfect spot for sentiment, and that way you have space to write your message. Oh, because this is a new stamp, so first I rub it with my hand to make sure that it didn't have any ickies from factory, and then I stamp it one time and then second time. See, I'm curling the little snowmans to give them some dimension, and here you go. Like you see, I added a little of the mini dot in the middle of the bow. I think it's so cute. There we go. Now, for our second project, I used the little pocket banner. I love this. I love this guy. I use it all the time. And I wanted to use the little felled socks that it came, or stockings that came in the package, but I wanted to be brighter colors. So like you see, you absolutely can apply color to these pieces. So I use my alcohol markers and I brighten them a little bit up. Same thing goes if you want to change the color, but why would you? The colors match. But if you want to, you can. So that's how I did it. Just pick my 3 little shades of markers. Now I'm going to put all my layers together. Like I said, the hardest part of this is picking the colors, and if you go with what you have, because this kit everything matched together, so you will have no problem. You just have to pick your favorite one. There we go. So I at my top hats. These are so cute. I love this. This is probably one of my favorite kits from this year. I don't know. Probably is one of my favorites, yeah. Okay, now we're going to keep layering. Now, if you see in my top left corner, I have another 3. I couldn't decide between the top hats or the candy cane, so I did 2 of these banners, but I'm just going to show you one. I think the pictures show both. That way you can I couldn't decide, so I make 2. I have enough stocking, so, and I still have 1 left that I'm going to use in another project probably. Okay, layering all my pieces. See how pretty it looks. Oh, I love it. And now my 3 guys. Look how cute they are. And now I'm gonna cut the Let It Snow. I cut the shadow with that pink or guava grid and the peacock for the inside. So I'm going to glue it first, like the inside of the letters into the shadow. And because this paper is so thick, the peacock cardstock is so thick, I should have run it twice, but I only run it once, so I needed a little snip. No biggie. There's a little couple of snips to make sure I don't rip my my paper. It's so pretty. Okay, so I'm gonna glue it first, and then I'm going to separate the words because I want to put Let It Snow in the 3 banners. Now the second one that I did, I did separate the words, but I only had 2 snowmen left, so I decided to put snowmen in the outside of the banner, and in the middle part I put the Let It Snow, but every word on top of the other one. You'll see in the pictures. This is a very fast project because, like you see, you just die cut, glue it together, and it's done. It's a very easy and fast project, and it is going to look so pretty on my not my mantle. I have 2 shelves in my living room. That's where I'm going to put it. It's so pretty. So the hardest part for me for this project was deciding where to position the Let and the It on my project, but I'm just gonna commit. So I'm gonna use again foam, the foam tape, what's this, foam tape, whatever, to add some dimension to my project, and I add little bits everywhere because I don't want this to go floppy in any part. So I cut a little piece for the cane and the rest one there, and there we have it. I try to add the foam tape in all my pieces. There we go. Now this is very sped up, but it really didn't take that long. I did all 5 projects in about, let me see, the footage was about close to 2 hours. I don't think that's bad. 2 hours for 5 projects. I think that's pretty good. And why? Because, and if I didn't color the little guys, that would take less time, but I decided to color, so that always takes a little bit more of time. But the end results, man, I love to color. Okay. Now I'm committing where I'm going to put my little guys. And like you see, all the colors work together perfectly. Now, I'm trying to think, but I will commit. So let's put some dots in here, some foam. So cutting in little pieces. So let me ask you, have you started with your Christmas projects? I have not, and I need to put metal to the pedal, or pedal to the metal. I don't know. I need to hurry and have all my cards done. Okay, committing. Let it snow. Oh, it's so pretty. That middle guy, that's my favorite. That he's jumping of joy. I love it. He's so cute. Okay, now this is how I'm going to put my what are those stockings. And I cut my ribbon. I thread my ribbon. Oh, but first, this is very important. I always have a lighter here in my craft room for finishing the ends of my ribbon. That way they don't fray and it's easier to thread through the eyelets. There we go. Hey, I left every little piece of what I did here for you all. So I hope this helps and it inspire you or motivate you to use your things. We buy all the things because we love them, so let's use them. So now I'm going to sew the little stockings like they were buttons to the ribbon. Just going to give a couple of stitches there to adhere it. You can definitely use hot glue if you don't want to sew. I just thought that it would look cute, like if it was a button. That was what was going through my head. Use the little stockings like they were buttons. So that's what I did. You can use a different color of thread too. I decided to use white, but you could use a guava type of color or to combine or to match to the stocking or to the ribbon. Or you can use black to make it very noticeable. You can use black because all the outline of the design in our paper it's black, so it wouldn't look bad. And the boots of our snowmen and snow girls are black too, so it will look good. And finishing the sewing part, like I said, you don't need to sew it. You can perfectly hot glue it, and it will be pretty too. And we're almost done. And the pretty part or the better part of this is that your banner pieces are not going to move because they have a stopper. So the little stockings will act like a stopper for your pieces, so they won't move or shift around. There we go. All finished. Here's a still picture now. See how pretty? I love it. Beautiful. And now to our last project, and we are going to do a mini slimline. So I cut with I cut my base with Peacock because lately I'm obsessed with this color, and I used the grid on what color is it? I think it's sea glass. Yeah. So I'm stamping my snow piles with ocean, And I'm going to use the inside of the die that came in your kit as a freebie. Or you could, if you're not, well, if you're watching this, you're a Kid Club subscribe, so you have this die. So because this die doesn't have a bottom, it doesn't cut the bottom, I'm able to use it to cut slits, make little slits, so I can slit in my little snowmans. And I was thinking, this is so pretty that on summertime or in springtime, you can use it like if it was dirt too, or like dooms of grass, and you can put like little vegetables or little critters coming out of the ground. It will look so pretty. I was thinking that you can use not just for snow, but for dirt too, or grass. So like we did in the first project, we're building this background with pretty snowflakes. I think I put more snowflakes than I should have, but it looks gorgeous. Okay, now I'm going to use this snow, what does it say? Let it snow stamp. First, I stamped it directly on my base, but I regretted it. So learn from my mistake and just do what I did at the end. Or if you stamp it in the background, put your snowmans first, because that's when I start putting my snowmans, it didn't look good. So learn from my mistakes. See, it didn't. I don't like how it looked. It looked off. So well, but we're gonna fix it. I was not going to start all over because there's a paper shortage. So we need to use every little piece. You'll see how I fix my boo-boo in a minute. Okay, so we're... Oh, and like you see, I use a little scotch tape to secure my little snowmans in the base. So this is how I'm going to fix it. I cut two other flags. I stamp it in the flag, and that's how we're gonna fix it. And like I said, because all the I use all the little pieces. I love these flags. You can cut a whole bunch of them and just have them ready for fixing boo-boos or adding texture or layers to your cards. There we go. We're gonna add the teeny little one, and then we're gonna cut the excesses. The X's. There we go. Aha! Problem fixed. And I think it looks gorgeous. What do you think? Adding some of these sparklies, because why not? And our card, it's done. What do you think? I think it's so pretty. Well, thank you so much for stopping by this month and looking at the 5 projects that I did. I hope you learn a little bit. I hope to inspire you. Please, you can find all the links to the things I use to create this card, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye.